Hey folks, I want Connor and Cody, you can see them there. They have in front of them a Dragon Ball Super box from the new game Dragon Ball Super. Connor, go ahead and start opening the pack there.
This is a Dragon Ball Z card game. This is Galactic Battle.
Not Dragon Ball Z, it's Dragon Ball Super.
Dragon Ball Super card game, Galactic Battle.
So Bandai makes this game. It just released today.
New card game.
New card game.
New edition.
Always, right?
Pretty high quality packaging.
Oh,
Look at
pretty
that.
good. Open the first one?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of. So
So I'm going to zoom in the overhead for the folks to see.
open our first booster pack here. Very good packaging, as I cannot open it, and I just cut my nails.
There's one of those dents.
Oh lordy. So shout out to Bandai. This is actually pretty clever. There's actually a rip spot on the package for you to open them easier and force the cards out. So we recognize some of these characters here. You can see up in the top left corner is the cost of the card. What will be the equivalent to like converted mana cost or
and then
level stars.
One of the foil rares. So this isn't the press foil. The press foils are supposed to be shinier. We'll notice the difference in texturing. Is this all visible?
It will be now.
Okay.
From here. Oops, sorry.
So this is one of the leader cards. See how it's got both sides?
Two sides, yeah.
Potatoes. And in the game, you actually have to hit a specific condition to be able to use its awaken ability. The game uses the 8 life shields. Most of the leaders I've seen have a requirement like this, where if you're at 4 or less, you get to awaken and have a higher power.
Assuming the flavor's supposed to be getting beaten down, so now you're kind of
Fighting back.
fighting back, getting back in the game. I mean, seriously, the cards are laid out pretty well. All the information is kind of readily available, what you need to know. So does every pack come with a foil?
Well, this is the first box I've opened, so
We'll find out.
I always thought that guy looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Since here the cards up in the corner, they have a cost, and then they have the color requirement. That is part of the cost. So it's 6, but you need 2 green, for example, for Rampaging Super Saiyan body.
And that's Beavers, actually one of the guys that they talk about online as being one of the better built decks at the beginning.
And you see here at the bottom of the card, it says the character, the special trait, which is kind of like their type, and then what era from the actual show they would be from. So you might have the same character on multiple cards, but from a different sort of era. For the leaders.
And the leaders can have full backsides, but apparently not full fronts.
Oh, that's pretty neat. So you can see here this leader card is different on both sides. One side's full, one side's not.
And apparently, even if they can be leaders, there are versions of them for the deck as well. So if you're not running as a leader, you can keep your favorite characters in your deck.
And you can see here this is characters from, they're not focusing on a specific era. This is just kind of from all over.
I believe they actually say in that text at the bottom which era they brought that
Yeah,
from.
it says specifically what era, like not
Oh.
just,
And this is what they call the gold pressed foils.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
It's got kind of the Japanese style sun in the background, I'm guessing.
that should amuse most Yu-Gi-Oh players who love the shine.
So yeah, you can see here like this Ginyu is from the Frieza saga, whereas we had another one earlier from a movie. This is the card back for people who are curious. These are 7 Dragon Balls.
And it's definitely not 1 liter per pack, even though we saw them for the first couple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming for draft purposes they're pretty common because you need to grab one. Interesting to see how this game how the draft format works.
Well, I do know
Always interested in that.
part of the rules is you have to pick a leader first, but that doesn't restrict you from your place in the pack. So if you don't have a leader yet, you have to pick one, but that doesn't stop you from getting a future one.
So it's looking like there's one, well maybe not. We got a foil in 4 of the packs, so
So they're not guaranteed.
Maybe it's a foil or a
Well, that
leader.
was a better foil. It's a yellow card, so it's a
This
normal
is full power
foil.
Frieza. This is his final form.
Oh yeah, he has the evolve mechanic. That's one of the things you can do in this game is once you have something out, you can evolve over it for a cost. Oh no, wait, that guy doesn't.
Yeah, this is a different one. No, you're thinking of the other one.
Here's the evolve one, the
Yep.
Frieza Hellish Terror. So it's a cheaper to evolve into once you have another copy that it tells you the requirement card in. So this one uses any Frieza. Some of them are specific. Here's the Son Goku that came in the starter decks, the Half demo decks.
The Super Saiyan Godsend Goku.
He does a lot of damage quick with that double strike. So that 8 power pull only goes down to 4 hits from that guy.
Yeah, it's good to know too that the starter decks actually have good playable cards in them. That's one thing you always kind of look for when a newer card game kind of comes on the market.
Here we're looking at.
Raging Attacker Vegeta.
Yes, he has the counterattack ability. When you're being attacked, you get to use him from hand.
From hand, okay.
But it's interesting. You negate the attack, but all the effects of an attack will go off. And then he stays in the board. Now this is the Frieza actual leader card. A lot of people online have been talking about Frieza versus... There's several yellow leaders, but Frieza versus doing Ginyu as the Ginyu Force leader, just for their effects and abilities.
See these double face cards, pretty interesting. I've seen a few games do these before, but in this one it's kind of an actual mainstay as opposed to a
Well, yeah, that base...
sometimes used mechanic. I think Forcible does it too.
Yeah, that base power that you see on those cards on the first side,
Yep.
that's the number you have to tie to be able to do damage because you're always attacking their leader. So when they awaken, they get a little bit stronger, and then it's a little harder to hurt them. The game works off this combo system.
Catch
You
it.
see these the cost and the value. So if I'm attacking and you want to defend your guy, I have to combo first to set a value for you to beat. If I tie, I get the damage through. So you can put cards down sideways and add to the power of your guy.
Okay.
So these cards have 3 uses in the game, really, because they're also the energy source you need to play the game. The God Charged Vegeta. I believe that's in the... there's special packs with a different foiling or rarity. They come with 3 packs. Another Beavers. And then Hit. Hit is the... I guess unique and noticeable guy out of the red set that I saw, because his evolve form does direct damage when it evolves.
Okay.
So it's one of the only burns I've seen that's like that. But you need, there's only 2 versions in this first set, so you need the lower one and the higher one.
And see, there's also some of these cards that have passive abilities that kind of always happen, and auto abilities that happen during certain points in the game. So you see here, like, these auto abilities are similar to, like, triggered abilities.
And then hits also.
You see here, ironically, Krillin has, like, a cover ability. Basically, when one of your other cards is attacked, you may switch it to Krillin, so he can die instead.
Well, I mean, he has
Which is
the human
very-
shield.
Very flavorful.
And then here's another one of the gold pressed ones, the God Breaks on Goku, who has an evolve ability.
Okay. You see here, this card has double strike. I'm sure works fairly similar to other games that have sort of a double hit mechanic.
Well, this game has actually 2 different mechanics. One does more damage, and the other one allows them to recover and attack at another time. So it's interesting how they decided to do that. You can also, instead of attacking a leader, if you want to clear their board, if they've attacked with something, it'll be rested, tapped, whatever you want to call it. And then you can attack their things to get them off the board if you can tie their power.
And you can see here these cards like these that says permanent. This is basically a continuous ability on the card that's just active all the time.
And there's one of the foil leader freezes.
Whee!
I mean, he isn't a gold press, but he looks so much like it because of the yellow color.
Yeah, this is maybe Frieza's actual final form. We'll never know. He kept saying he was going to show us it on the show, but I don't ever think we actually saw it. He was always at like 99.9% power.
There's the foiling version of Champa. So yeah, it does look like there's at least a foil of some sort in each pack.
Yeah, it looks like a foil or a leader. Might even just be a foil period.
Sometimes it's a foil leader, sometimes this one had 2 leaders. Ginyu. And it was just transformation.
Ooh, that's the flavor win right there. For those of you who watch the TV show, this is a Ginyu, or no, this is a Ginyu as Goku flipping into Ginyu as not Goku when he awakens.
No, it's the other way.
It's the other way around, yeah. It's Ginyu flipping into
turning
Goku, yeah. But for those of you who watch the show, that's kind of a flavor win. That's actually a pretty clever use of the double-sided card.
Make it look more interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Reminds me of the werewolf cards from the Magic sets.
Yeah, and the I can't remember what they're called from Force of Will. You can see obviously the same characters, but just different eras.
Oh, and see, here's the lightning fast hit is the one I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to have 5 energy, which I've heard from people online. I haven't tried it a lot myself. That getting to turn like 4 to 6 is generally how fast this game plays.
Okay.
But he evolves for 5, and then when he comes in, you inflict 2 damage.
And you have 8 shields, you said?
Yes, and the interesting part is like at the very beginning, taking a hit or 2 isn't so bad. So people will actually play that risky line of getting down to their awakened part so they can get high card advantage because there is no hand size in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to be ahead so that when they go for the combo kill, they have enough cards to beat their opponent out.
And you can see too, this is one of the few direct damage cards I've been seeing. So like you're saying, when you have to do this matching system, you can kind of get bricked out by your opponent, but this just gets around it.
Yes.
It just says take 2. I mean,
King Gold.
one of the movie characters, if I remember correctly, which I probably don't.
He doesn't need attack ability. If something attacks him, you have to kill the thing that attacked him. And Senzu Beans.
See the card here, these cards kind of have like, even though they have written out mechanic keywords, you can see like the cards are pretty concise and clear on like exactly how everything works. It says active battle once per turn. You know, it's not no confusing wording. It's nothing you kind of look for, especially when a game is translated into English. It can kind of get messy sometimes. Yeah, it looks like a full on every pack.
Yep. Here's the Vegeta leader with foiling.
You may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. Transforms into Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Choose 1 card from your life and add it to your hand. So this is like kind of a I'm losing, kind of get card advantage kind of card. And another one of the cards is foil on one side and on the other. So you can, when you get to 4 life, you can blind your opponent, maybe get an advantage. I do like this pack design though.
Definitely cleaner, easier to
Yeah,
open.
a lot cleaner. Yanking open pack, especially when you're like busting multiple boxes or whatever. Like, you know, Randy can tell you about the bouts of arthritis he's had to fight through after opening multiple cases in the same set. He wants to disagree, but
No, I'm agreeing.
yeah, you get box fatigue. I'm not kidding. You guys laugh like you guys are a bunch of nerds, but no, man. When you're opening multiple boxes, you get fatigue, and you stop caring what's even in them.
Oh, see, yeah. If Krillin's in your drop area, you gain triple strike, which is 3 damage.
So is it any Krillin?
Yes.
That's
It
oh
looks
yeah, so
for a
yeah,
Krillin card.
it's got these brackets around it. I don't know, it might be hard to see. Basically, it's denoting like any Krillin, you know, and not just a
So
specific one.
there's a flavor of success.
yeah.
Krillin dies.
Krillin dies, Goku gets better. So essentially, what you're telling me is you just want your Krillins to all die because I haven't seen a good one yet. But there's a lot of
We're
cards
waiting
that
to
get
see
better.
him as a leader to see if he becomes really good.
His
because,
ability is just when you awaken, he dies.
You know, they the way the story goes, they die, they train, they come back stronger. He's had his day.
Yeah, certainly has to be Dragon Ball cards, right? Somewhere in here.
I don't think in this set they have him.
It's coming.
Son
There's
Gohan.
another leader.
No, one of the guys online who plays on Octagon a lot has been saying that people are sleeping on Son Gohan. He's built a deck around it that he thinks can't be beat. I haven't seen the deck list, but I'd like to see why they think that.
And I'd like to emphasize another Human Shield Krillin. Thus far, not seen any Krillin card that looks like you don't want it to die.
If you have more life than your opponent, draw a card. If your life is 4 or less, you draw 2 and flip this card. So that's good card advantage from the beginning. When he attacks, draw a card. That's similar to what we've seen on Goku.
So it sounds like they're using the Awakening as kind of a catch-up mechanic.
Just like the shields are. When the shield gets broken, goes right to your hand. That's how you fight back.
And similar to systems like Elder Scrolls Legends and stuff like that. They try to make it to where you can't just get completely run over.
Okay, so this is probably what he's taking advantage of. If you can get to turn 6, your opponent can't keep out any extra attackers because you just
You
pay
KO.
out 6 and KO once per turn. So you board wipe every turn on your opponent and just keep attacking with just him.
Yeah, for 6, yeah. That's pretty interesting.
I mean, a lot of the later game effects are kind of expensive, but definitely they change the state of the game completely.
Yeah.
Having to deal with that would be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a wrath on a stick, a repeatable wrath on a stick. Once you,
Oh, Gold pressed beavers.
Seen a lot of this guy.
Well, they stick well to the themes in their like sets. So they'll have like multiple versions of them, so they have more evolution triggers, and so that you can use your favorite guy with different themes or abilities.
I imagine there has to be a flip with him too, because he turns into the ugly dragon dude in the show. There's gotta be one somewhere.
Maybe in
Maybe
set
at some
2?
point, yeah.
I don't think I've seen him.
They can't pass up that flavor. I mean, flip cards give you can get a lot of weird things with flip cards, as we've kind of seen from other games. That's another
Another
one.
Super Saiyan Vegeta?
Yep. This is the same one we had earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, this card, I would read the ability, but it's like 3 paragraphs long. But yeah, you can see some of these cards. Most of them are pretty simple. I do like the wording. The wording's very concise. So even if you might not necessarily be familiar with the game, the cards are pretty self-explanatory.
Another Son Gohan.
Yeah, it's always good to have a game where easy to understand. You can still have complexity with that.
Now, I'm hoping we see it, but we're getting low on packs here, so I'm not sure we will. But this game does have God packs from the very beginning, where every card in the pack is going to be a foil, rare or super rare, I believe.
It's like the ultimate pack.
Yeah, I believe the rarity is around 1 per case, though I've heard people have opened cases with 2 of them. I can't verify since this is the first box I've opened. Broly, everyone loves Broly.
Yeah, Broly the Rampaging Horror. This is from one of the movies. I'm going to come back later. They evolve Double Strike. When you play this card, choose up to 2 cards from your opponent's hand at random and place them in the drop area. So basically,
Discard 2 at random?
Yeah, mind draw your opponent. Well, actually, him to Turok your opponent, for those of you who play Magic. Which, I don't know, I've heard that card is good.
When your opponent doesn't have any say on what they lose,
Oh, yeah.
it's got to be good.
Yeah, random discard is always... I mean, I can't imagine a game where it would be not good.
Especially when the card advantage is all you're fighting for.
Yeah, and it's attached to a body. That's not just, forget that. It's not something I want to gloss over. So another King
Ruler.
Cole.
So we've seen plenty of rulers, so draftability in this set is huge.
Mm-hmm. And you can see, too, this card has like another keyword ability, Revenge. When this card's attacked, you KO the attacking card after battle. So sure, there's a situation you can set up where you have a trick or something and just get to eat their guy for free, basically.
They have blockers, and I know if you kill the blocker, even though the blocker becomes the target of the attack instead of your original target, your ruler.
So like a taunt ability.
Yeah, but if they kill the blocker, that just means the attack is still negated. The guy's just gone.
Yeah, and we've seen games like Hearthstone with that kind of mechanic in them. Any game where you can sort of just attack your opponent's face, you usually see mechanics like that, where you have some way to kind of jump in the way. Otherwise,
Oh, this one's interesting. It's a 5-drop that restores 2 of your energy and draws you a card.
So it's essentially just a 3-drop?
Well, it also evolves for only 4 over Gotenks, so it's a 25,000 double strike. Since the game works generally in ranges of 10,000 and groups of 5 up, or the occasional 12,000, which seems slightly interesting to me because it's protected from just being beat down by a 10,000, but
Yeah.
it's only happens on some cards. The 25,000 is a pretty big hit to have a double strike on, so as a late game evolve card, that seems pretty strong. The God of Destruction Champus.
So does this evolve? That's what I was gonna say. Does this evolve? Is that from or to?
No, the evolve is if there is a Gotenks on the board, you
So
pay
you
this
just-
cost
yeah.
and overlay, and it stays on top of the other card.
Okay.
Also, if you have an effect on the original card, the evolution keeps the effect in the game because it's considered the same card, basically.
And you can see here, this one, as you can see, it has the same template. It's just any Gotenks. There's not a specific one noted. And you can see here at the bottom, this is kind of why they have the character at the bottom specifically says, Gotenks, so you know for sure, like, okay, this is a Gotenks card.
And here's an evolve for 4 that causes your opponent to choose 2 and discard 2. So that's a different form of discard effect.
Yeah, and it's the same character. It's a Brawly evolve as well.
So, I guess
So you could go him to
Broly's team-
Turok into, another him, basically. This is a regular version of one we had earlier.
There's a
Senzu Bean.
favorite thing from the original.
Choose it to one of your cards. It gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. Then choose it to 2 of your energy cards and switch them to active mode. Yeah, so another kind of flavorful card from those of you who might be fans of the TV show.
Oh look, I got a second Beavers. In that gold press. His auto when he attacks is really good.
Your opponent. So when he attacks the leader card, your opponent may choose 2 cards in their hand and place them in the draw, so discard area. If they don't, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and energy, place them in the draw area. Okay, so
That literally.
yeah, if they don't discard 2 cards, they're gonna lose everything.
King Vegeta. Apparently, he decided to wear a mustache goatee for a while. I didn't see that part of the show.
I believe I might be wrong. I think that's his dad, if I remember right. But I could be wrong. It's been a really long time. I don't know, because I know the planet he's from is named Vegeta as well.
That's super naming. Oh, now here is the card that I want to see actually work. But as you can see, that cost is huge.
Quadruple strike. All right.
Well, let's go into the cost. It costs 12.
Cost 12.
And how many of those blue marks are there that show
1, 2,
you?
3, 4, 5, 6.
So 6
blue
of the
marks.
12 has to be blue.
He's got quadruple strike. He has a continuous ability. This card's attack and skill cannot be negated. Well, that's good on a 12 drop. And then he has auto, which is another trigger ability, basically. When you play this card, if your leader card is Beerus, after your current turn ends, take another turn. So, cost 12, 40,000, quadruple striker. Has a pseudo hexproof for those of you who play Magic, and then he has a take an extra turn ability. That's somewhat similar to like a Aeon's Torn, I guess you could say.
And here's one of don't know how many of these there are, but this is a field effect. It sits out where your people usually do. I haven't seen any interaction with them yet, but it allows you to affect Broly's abilities to make his stuff cost less.
Your hand is not affected by your leader card play skill. Okay. Yeah, so it stops your Brawly from hurting yourself, essentially is what it's saying. So you can play that, then play Brawly, and then you just have sort of a one-sided ability.
Yes. And last pack, let's see what we got. Oh, no God pack today, but...
Oh, I'm so unlucky.
Oh, look at this. The Broly leader and in foil.
Brawly Legendary Saiyan. This card cannot attack battle cards. So this is the Awaken side. What's the Awaken on this? When your life is full, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. Yeah, you can't attack battle cards, and when he attacks, you draw a card. Then both players choose 1 card from their hand and 1 card from their battle area and place those cards in their drop area. So yeah, basically when he attacks, both of you have to essentially discard a card and then put one of your creatures in your drop area, which is your graveyard essentially. But as we saw with the other field card from earlier, you can play a Brawly's Ring and make this a one-sided kind of ability. It's kind of interesting. There's already like built-in synergies because this is the first set, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's already like some built-in kind of synergies. You know, usually they like to put cards like this in the set to kind of give you an idea of like a direction to go in. You know, because the game is new. So.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out and play it. Well, that's all the packs we have. Let's take all the foilings and show them off one more time. And thank everybody for watching because I know everyone should be excited about this game. It looks like a good game for playing quick matches, good catch up. And if you like Dragon Ball Super, if you like Dragon Ball Z, if you remember from your childhood, this is the game to get into. I'm just saying it's a lot more fun to play to me than the Pan Z version of the game where the whole goal was to make your opponent's deck go to their graveyard. Milling is never fun because you just watch your win conditions disappear. In this, we've got a lot of interaction, a lot of play back and forth with the attack values. You can build a big board state and then just see somebody go Super Saiyan and blow it away. So,
yeah, some of these abilities seem like just straight bomb abilities. So it'll be interesting to see how the game plays out. It looks like it'll be a pretty fast game.
Well, thanks for watching, and come see us next time when we open up our next box when Set 2 comes out.
And this is Connor, and I'm Cody. And we'll see you guys at the front line.